If you build it, they will come. And that's exactly what they've done here in Newton, Iowa. They've built a beautiful 7/8 of a mile oval. And it's where Indy Lights drivers in the championship presented by Cooper Tires will run their final oval race of the 2016 season. Welcome to Small Town Americana. Welcome to Newton, Iowa. Welcome to Road to Indy TV. Everybody wants to run out front and be on top of the mountain. But it's when you're running out front that you're watched the closest and by the most eyes. The top 3 drivers in the standings of the Indy Lights Championship presented by Cooper Tires have found that out this week. Following a very hectic first half of the season that's seen a few more damaged race cars and a few more cars running off track than typical, Indy Lights race director Tony Kottman has placed the trio of drivers atop the standings on probation throughout the end of the 2016 season.
I thought it was appropriate to place all 3 drivers on probation. You know, the reality is there's been multiple offences and warnings leading up to this point. Basically, if there's any more offences, then we'll step in and take some action. I've pretty clearly laid out that it'll be a minimum deduction of 10 championship points. And I hope it doesn't get to that. I definitely don't want to get in the middle of a championship run in the stretch of it and dictate the outcome, but we'll do what we have to do to keep it fair.
We're in the garage areas here at Iowa Speedway, in the middle of really just a big cornfield. I'm joined by Dave Higuera from Schmidt Peterson Motorsports. It's our team profile, the winningest team in Indy Lights history, Schmidt Peterson Motorsport. Dave, it's got to be a lot of pressure.
It's a bit of pressure, yeah. There's quite a legacy involved in it, but honestly, it's been a great place to work.
It looks like a great place to work. You guys have beautiful race cars. We're here in the garages this weekend at Iowa Speedway. When you guys come to an oval like this, you get the garages, you get a little bit of the amenities. Versus working out of the truck and trailer, it's got to be a little nice.
Yeah, it works both ways, honestly. Sometimes working under your awning, your truck is really familiar to you. The setup's always the same. Working here, you're out in front of everybody. So for sure, the convenience factor, it's nice being in the garage. Nice place to work, but yeah, truck's friendly too.
Here on the Mazda Road to Indy, it's all about getting drivers up one day to that big brother side of the program, as you call it, the Verizon IndyCar Series. You got some young drivers right now, Santiago Urrutia, we talked to Heeman Choi, and then you got Andre Nagaro. As far as getting them to where they want to be, what's that as far as a challenge for you?
Yeah, for sure. That's a big challenge because, you know, they possess the ability pretty much to get the job done on track. So then it's really trying to get some of the stuff that's not driving, you know, looking after your sponsors, looking after your team, you know, when to make the right move, when to make the right move on track, you know, risk and reward, that sort of situation.
You talk about them maturing and developing as drivers. What's one of the things that maybe not just your drivers, but all the drivers that fill this garage area this weekend in the Indy Lights Championship presented by Cooper Tires, what's one thing that you think they could really perfect and it would take them to the next step maybe?
You know, one thing that's difficult, I think, is at this level, you've got guys that are all basically, you know, moving up the ladder, so to speak. So when they get to the IndyCar series, you know, they can be sitting out there on the grid, and the guy sitting next to him may have 10 years of experience in the car. So it's like literally just keep the wheels turning, get the experience, get lap after lap after lap, and, you know, hopefully the results come.
Dave, thanks so much for stopping and talking to us. We're in between practice sessions. So good luck rest of the weekend, and I really appreciate the time.
Excellent. Thank you.
Newton, Iowa is the home of Iowa Speedway. Newton's also home to the Maytag Dairy, which produces over 1 million pounds of blue cheese a year. But Newton, Iowa is more than just a dairy and a racetrack. Newton is small town Americana. It's in the heartland of our country. It's home to the Newton Cardinals and a budding artistic scene. The town welcomes race fans every year for events from NASCAR to IndyCar, and each year they always leave with a smile on their face after watching racing at the world's fastest short track. Hello friends, we're on the 6th tee of the Westwood golf course in Newton, Iowa, and I'm joined by Indy Lights driver Zach Veach, and that's my best golf announcer impersonation.
I feel like we have to talk very whispered because we are at a golf course, but that was a great intro, man. You should be a golf announcer maybe next.
Boy,
Think about, I mean, no, nothing against golf. I know a lot of people are golf fanatics. I am not one, because just not a lot happens in a short period of time.
It's very hard to commentate.
Exactly. So going from racing to golf, I think that's like two sides of the street to be on.
You'd be throwing some pretty heavy brakes on the operation, just like every time I try to talk to a girl. It would be a very...
See, that's not something I would admit on camera. Like, even if I'm bad, I'm probably slightly bad, but you never admit that.
All of our fans know.
Okay.
All of our fans know.
I'm always really excited to come here to Iowa because I grew up in southern Ohio, so in front of me was always the pasture for a dairy farm. So we always had cows there. And another known fact, cows are one of my favorite animals because they're basically just milk dogs. And try to keep it together there. But and then behind me was always, either corn or beans, depending on the year. So I actually grew up, when I was little, I had John Deere sheets, John Deere wallpaper, John Deere tractors all over my room. I wanted to be a farmer. Like, my biggest highlight was wanting to drive a combine. So coming out here and being surrounded by it all, it's pretty cool. It takes me back.
As a wannabe TV announcer, I'm very envious of your skill and your ability behind a race car, but you also have skills outside of a race car. You've written books. You've brought people together. You've been on Oprah. Now tell me first of all about the experience. What was that like, and why were you on the Oprah Winfrey Show?
Well, first off, that was, when I first came on the scene in 2010. I was 15 then. So basically how I look now is how old people would have thought I was, but if you think I look young now, dude, when I came on in 2010, I looked like I must have been 8. So I wanted to do something with anti-texting while driving because I come from a small town and I lost a close friend of mine due to that. And I thought, what better way than to work with Oprah, because she had her no phone zone. It was a pledge that you signed saying that you wouldn't text while driving. And I thought if I could get 33 Indy 500 drivers to sign that pledge, that'd be a good start and a good message to send to the world, and we did just that.
Absolutely, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so you were featured on our show and you're able to bring that message in front of a whole lot of people. What I want to know now is the serious stuff. You've been on the Oprah Winfrey Show. You're on Road to Indy TV with me. Who's the cooler TV host? Take your time. Let's get to know Zach Veach, the most eligible bachelor this week on Road to Indy TV.
Oh, wow.
Zach Veach's ideal date is...
Ooh, wow, that's really good. See, I
Say you were to randomly ask a Cooper Tires girl. Let's just use them as an example. Let's say you ask one of those lovely ladies out on a dinner date, or just a date.
See,
what
for
is she gonna
me,
get to enjoy?
See, I like to be classy. Like, I still believe, in the whole gentleman thing, getting the car door, paying the check, not saying, that in like a bad way at all, but I feel like that's how the dating world, first date anyway goes. Honestly, like if we go with your just, completely fiction scenario about, say, if it's a Cooper Tire girl.
Fictional. Or not.
I'd say, yeah, definitely dinner, because I think that's a good way. Like, I like to get to know people, and I think over dinner you can really kind of get to know someone, and then you kind of go from there. So.
Who doesn't love to eat?
Exactly.
Right.
See, I'm a food guy. And honestly, I think Zach Veach is, I'll say it here, is a little bit of a hopeless romantic. Yeah, just throwing that out there. So, like, for me, like, love is one of those important things. Racing is definitely got to be number one, but I think I actually look forward to, like, one day, like, having a family and kids, because I think that would be, like, a really cool, like, experience, but not until, like, 30.
Girls, if someone does not scoop this book writing, rock climbing, race car driving, country loving, son of a gun soon.
See, if I would have a Tinder profile, that would be my bio.
Well, I just wrote it for you, didn't
You just did.
This has been enjoyable. Zach Veach.
Oh, man, thank you.
Thank you for the time.
Hey, man, my pleasure.
Zach Veach, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
So a bit of a delay here at Iowa Speedway. The rain is falling. Qualifying for our Indy Lights drivers was supposed to start about 10 minutes ago. We're holed up in the garage here, and we're gonna go around and talk to some people and see what you do during a rain delay. Let's head down this way for a minute. We've got a couple of the big names in Indy Lights, John Bruner and Ricardo Junco, standing around talking. Rain delay, guys. We see two team principals talking. What's being discussed right now?
I don't know that we can give that information out.
You can divulge it. Ricardo, what's going on? What are you guys talking about? Sharing some old family cooking recipes?
Yeah, kind of.
We got pro Mazda driver Aaron Tielitz down here by the Team Pelfrey side of things. He's hanging out this weekend. You guys were supposed to race, but not enough drivers wanted to come hang out.
Yeah, no, not enough guys. We should have got a car for you. You can get out there with us.
When are we going to see you in one of these Indy Lights cars?
Well, hopefully next year, depending on if I win the championship or find enough sponsorship dollars. That's obviously how it works. So I think we're less than 30 points behind Pato now in the championship. So 7 races left. We'll see what we can do to get in that thing.
What's up, guys? Good, how are you?
Doing great.
What are you guys doing right now?
Waiting.
Let's go talk to Zach Veach really quick. Tell us who you're wearing.
Oh, well, this is OMP. You know, for me, this is from their kiddie section. Because it's the only thing that really fits well. The shoes are about a size 2.5. Yeah, and the hat's Zach Veach, so.
We're going to walk around and keep annoying people. Guys, thanks for the time.
Thank you. You guys are doing a great job of it.
Oh, thank you. Oh, here we go. Shelby Blackstock. I was going for your mechanic, your senior engineer, crew chief over here. But when are you lucky enough to run into the one and only son of Reba, Shelby Blackstock? How are you?
I'm just fantastic. How about you, big guy?
I'm nervous that we're not going to get this thing in until midnight tonight.
Oh, man. You missed it then. Pro Mazda a couple years, we ran at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Boy, I don't stay up that late, honestly.
I know, you're older, though.
Now we're going to head alongside the tire wall here. Poppy thinks he can hide, but that's much too large of a frame to do that. What's going on?
Sitting and waiting. Watching the weather, watching the radar.
Now this is the true meaning of hurry up and wait, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, because we were all through tech and ready to go, and now we're just kind of on hold.
We're continuing our tour through the Andretti Autosport portion of the garage right now. We just finished up with Shelby, we got Poppy over there, and now we've got the one only Dalton Kellett. Hair is looking a little bit less than on fleek right now due to the rain.
Yeah, you know, it's the humidity. It just kind of messes with it. You can't quite pull off a Zoolander look when it's just this wet and humid, you know?
Now, I want you to say what you said to me over Instagram 2 days ago, and I want you to say it with all the sincerity and all the emotion that I know you can say it with.
Zoolander may only look right, but he'll be turned left all weekend.
With the most recent oval race for Indy Lights drivers being the Freedom 100 at Indianapolis, the pressure was on for Iowa Speedway to showcase the great oval track racing Indy Lights drivers can put on. Following a washed-out qualifying session due to heavy rain Sunday afternoon, point leader Ed Jones started from the pole position and jumped to an early race lead. At the quarter race distance mark was when Felix Sorrellis got around Dean Stoneman for the second position on track. From there, Stoneman would fight tooth and nail using his mirrors heavily to keep a hard-charging Zach Veach behind. Ultimately, Veach was able to leave Stoneman behind just past the halfway mark. With the race staying green to this point, the leaders began to hit lap traffic just after Felix Sorrellis took the lead from teammate Ed Jones. Coming down to see 20 laps to go, leader Felix Sorrellis encountered enough lap traffic to lose the lead to Zach Veach. But as Veach learned, you live and die by the lap traffic on the ovals. With just 3 laps remaining, Veach could not clear lap traffic in the form of Carlin driver Neil Alberico. Sorrellis saw his chance and took it. After a green 100 laps of racing, it was Felix Sorrellis standing in victory lane. Zach Veach and Ed Jones rounded out the podium in Iowa. That'll do it in Iowa. Just like that, the final oval race of the 2016 season is done. And boy, am I dizzy. From here, the series packs up and heads north of the border as we prepare to take on the Streets of Toronto Grand Prix. USF 2000 and Pro Mazda will be back on track, so it finna be an awesome weekend when we get to Canada. For everybody on the Mazda Road to Indy, I'm Tony Laporta. We'll see you down the road.